NASCAR heads to Darlington Raceway this weekend. The track too tough to tame. The lady in black with more horsepower. Let's analyze the ones to watch. Hello everybody, welcome to Dirty Air. I'm your host Alex Lambert, and let's talk about NASCAR heading into Darlington this race weekend. We'll take a look at some ones to watch. All Toyotas is the three drivers I'm going to pick this week. And then, of course, we're going to look at the new horsepower. What could that mean for a track like Darlington? So it's going to be an interesting race weekend, a really highly anticipated NASCAR race. This is the first time since 2018, I believe, we're going to go to a racetrack of this size, 1.5 miles at Darlington, high banks, and run 750 horsepower. So we're going to have more horsepower this week than we've seen in a long time at Darlington Raceway. We've seen how the impacts of the higher horsepower actually did play a big role in Phoenix a week ago. They'll probably play an even bigger role here at Darlington this week. A lot of drivers have pointed that out. Denny Hamlin's one. A few others have pointed out how the racing could be a lot different with the higher horsepower. One thing I also want to note is going into this race weekend at Darlington, we're going to talk about the tire fall off, the higher horsepower, the higher corner straightaway speeds, and diving into the corner with more braking. But what's going to be also interesting is the weather. We're expecting about high 80s to even maybe 90 degrees on Sunday on a sunny South Carolina day. Weather will play a role, especially with the changes coming to the Cup Series, right, for this week. So it's going to be interesting to see. Just a quick look here. I have the 2026 race package picture pulled up. The Raceway, once again, has changed. They are not a part of the intermediate package anymore. They are now a part of the short track and road course package, which I don't fully get why Darlington was the one. I mean, it's high banked. It's different than like a Las Vegas or another track or Charlotte, but it's still high banked. It's still pretty fast, long straightaways. It's a little bit contrary to the other tracks we're seeing run the short track package. In Nashville's another one on there as well. The concrete track will be high horsepower as well. So that's fun to watch. We'll see the difference. It'll be really fun to compare the difference, but we already saw from Phoenix where tire wear could play a big role this week at Darlington. And Darlington's also a really difficult racetrack already. I think most drivers in the field will tell you it's the toughest track on the schedule. That's going to make it more interesting. A quick look here, some ones to watch heading into this Darlington race. Now I'm going to show you a graph here of Erik Jones' Darlington results. You're going to see the 2 wins in the Southern 500 2019 and 2022. Some of these stats have like 2020. The COVID year had 3 races at Darlington. The last race of the year every year would be that Southern 500, the 500-mile race here, which is going to be on Labor Day weekend. But look at that. A lot of successful results from Erik Jones. Now, you're going to see a big dip in 2021 when he goes down to 18th, 32nd. 32nd was because of an engine failure. 25th, that's when he switched from Joe Gibbs Racing over to now Legacy Motor Club in the 23, now Toyota. All the dip in the numbers there, they just progressively got a little bit worse as he switched. He did win in 2022. He beat Kyle Busch in 2022 after the blown engine and beat Kyle Busch in 2019. Also, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning after a long rain delay in the Southern 500. So 2 Southern 500 Darlington wins for Erik Jones. These stats don't really mean that much. They don't really correlate that much into to this weekend's race, but I just thought it'd be a cool chart to show. He did finish 3rd in last year's Southern 500 as well. So a lot of success in the Southern 500 for Erik Jones. Took him years to finish outside the top 10. Finishing the top 10 every year in his Joe Gibbs, his JGR days. So certainly impressive nonetheless for that team. And I don't know, Erik Jones is just in a weird place right now. I don't know how good Legacy Motor Club Toyotas are right now. I know Erik Jones can drive. I know he's talented. We know he's good at Darlington, but I don't know if he can correlate that to a win. It's also a 400-mile race, 293 laps versus the long, grueling Southern 500 that we get from day into the night on Labor Day weekend. So this race is different than the one we're going to see in the fall or on Labor Day weekend later this year. Another stat here from NASCAR Insights, Denny Hamlin has finished in the top 10 in 74.1% of his Darlington starts in the Cup Series. That's 20 top 10s in 27 starts. Man, I mean, that's just extremely impressive. Talk about how Darlington's a driver's racetrack. When I look at racetracks that are like driver's racetracks, I can name a few. Darlington's obviously going to be one that comes to mind, but Bristol's going to be another one that comes to mind. And you see guys like Denny Hamlin continue to excel at these types of racetracks. It's just the best drivers shine at these types of racetracks, and that's what you could potentially see out of Denny Hamlin. Won the spring race here a year ago. Once again, the spring race and the fall race completely different. The fall race, the Southern 500, is a prestigious crown jewel event. It's daytime into night, longer, grueling, long night in Darlington. This race a little more simple, I would say. Not easy, but more simple. It's less laps. It's 100 miles less. It's all in the daytime typically, but it's still going to be really fun to watch. Now, also the other driver I want to point out is going to be Chase Briscoe. He's won the last 2 Southern 500s at Darlington. He's won in the O'Reilly Part Series at Darlington, beating Kyle Busch. A lot of drivers that beat Kyle Busch in close finishes at Darlington, the Southern 500. Maybe that should be my pick, but yeah, certainly Chase Briscoe has showed that now he is a top contender. Won it in a Stewart-Haas racing car in 2024. Won it last year in 2025, the Southern 500 in a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Extremely impressive performance last year. He led like the majority, essentially the whole race. Had complete control of the entire race last year. So want to watch Chase Briscoe heading into this weekend. I would mention RCR, Kyle Busch, right? I mean, he's had some success at Darlington. I think it's 3 straight top 10s at Darlington, but they're just so behind this year. I don't feel comfortable picking them. Austin Dillon has been having a better season this year. We talk about how he's really good at saving tires. This race could favor him going into this week with the higher horsepower. Be interesting to see what Austin Dillon does. But like I said, RCR is just in a weird spot right now. I just don't feel very comfortable picking them to win a NASCAR Cup race at the current state we're at. So anyway, that's it. All there's to talk about following or heading into NASCAR's Darlington weekend. Tune into Dirty Air following the race. We'll do a full race analysis. And of course, let's get rowdy.